Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Shrinuvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantasthoha Bhadrani Vidunoti Sudipsata Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 33, verse 15, 16 and 17. Verse 15. Prajapateha kardamasya tapo yoga vijramhitam svakarhastyam anaupamyam pratyam vaimanikairapi. Synonyms: Prajapate, of the progenitor of mankind. Kardamasya, Kardama Muni. Tapa, by austerity. Yoga, by yoga. Vijramhitam, developed. Swagarhastyam, his home and household paraphernalia. Anaupamyam, unequaled. Prathyam, enviable. Vaimanikai, by the denizens of heaven. Api, even. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: The home and household paraphernalia of Kardama, who was one of the Prajapatis, was developed in such a way by dint of his mystic powers of austerity and yoga that his opulence was sometimes envied by those who travel in outer space in airplanes. Purport: The statement in this verse that Kardama Muni's household affairs were envied even by persons who travel in outer space refers to the denizens of heaven. Their airships are not like those we have invented in the modern age, which fly only from one country to another. Their airplanes were capable of going from one planet to another. There are many such statements in the Srimad Bhagavatam from which we can understand that there were facilities to travel from one planet to another, especially in the higher planetary system. And who can say that they are not still traveling? The speed of our airplanes and space vehicles is very limited, but as we have already studied, Kardama Muni traveled in outer space in an airplane which was like a city, and he journeyed to see all the different heavenly planets. That was not an ordinary airplane, nor was it ordinary space travel, because Kardama Muni was such a powerful mystic yogi. His opulence was envied by the denizens of heaven. Text 16. Payapena nibhashaya danta rukma parichada asanani cha haimani susparsha astraranani cha. Synonyms: Paya, of milk. Pena, the foam. Nibha, resembling. Shaya, beds. Danta, made of ivory. Rukma, gold. Parichadda, with covers. Asanani, chairs and benches. Cha, and. Haimani, made of gold. Susparsha, soft to the touch. Astaranani, cushions. Cha, and. The opulence of the household of Kardama Muni is described herein. The bed sheets and mattresses were all as white as the foam of milk. The chairs and benches were made of ivory and were covered by cloths of lace with golden filigree, and the couches were made of gold and had very soft pillows. Text 17. Swachhaspati kudyeshu महामरकातेषु च रत्नप्रादीप आभन्ति ललना रत्नसंयुता. Synonyms: Swacha, pure; Svatika, marble; Kudyeshu, on the walls; Maha Markyateshu, decorated with valuable emeralds; Cha, and Ratna Pradipa, jewel lamps; Abhanti, shine; Lalana, woman; Ratna, with jewelry; Samyuta, decorated. Translation: The walls of the house were made of first-class marble, decorated with valuable jewels. There was no need of light, for the household was illuminated by the rays of these jewels. The female members of the household were all amply decorated with jewelry. Purport: It is understood from this statement that the opulences of household life were exhibited in valuable jewels, ivory, first-class marble, and furniture made of gold and jewels. The clothes are also mentioned as being decorated with golden filigree. Everything actually had some value. It was not like the furniture of the present day, which is cast in valueless plastic or base metal. The way of Vedic civilization is that whatever was used in household affairs had to be valuable. In case of need, such items of value could be exchanged immediately. Thus, once broken and unwanted furniture and paraphernalia would never be without value. This system is still followed by Indians in household affairs. They keep metal utensils and golden ornaments or silver plates and valuable silk garments with gold embroidery. And in case of need, they can have such money in exchange immediately. There are exchanges for the moneylenders and the householders. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I humbly bow down and seek blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to purify myself, and please forgive me for any shortcomings. I have taken notes from a lecture by His Holiness Romapat Swami Maharaj. This is the final chapter in third canto. Kapila Dev has explained everything through chapter 32, and here Mother Devhuti begins this chapter not just by saying thank you, but so much of glorification of the Supreme Lord. In chapter 25, she had requested to detach her from Maya. Although it was arranged by the personality of Godhead, just like he chose Arjuna to share the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, here the Supreme Lord chose Mother Devhuti. Her Krishna consciousness was restored through sound vibration of very important knowledge. So she glorifies him as the Supreme Lord, and the Supreme Godhead then left. Kardava Muni and Mother Devhuti were qualified enough to have the Supreme Personality as their child. Her qualification was of bhakti, to have the Supreme Lord as her son. And Kardava Muni had such mystic powers that he could create a magnificent floating city, even so that the demigods were looking up to him in terms of mystic powers. Simultaneously, Kardama Muni was a perfect devotee, so that the personality of Godhead appeared before him, spoke to him, and blessed him. And the opulence of Kardama Muni was invested in this place that he created simply for his wife. This was not an ordinary airplane that he had created. It was a city that had all the facilities with all servants, etc. In the purport of verse 17, Srila Prabhupada is criticizing the modern civilization. He points out that this modern civilization is materially and spiritually without substance. In the spiritual world, everything has profound value. Just like Kardama Muni's beautiful floating wonderland, everything had immense value in it. Everything was so precious because everything was utilized in the service of the Lord. Now, there might be a discussion on how can a son leave his mother? He is supposed to protect her. The arrangement was that Kardama Muni left because his son was there to protect Devhuti. But now he too is leaving. Here these verses explain that Kardama Muni was not abandoning his wife. He was extending his mystic powers to make all arrangements for her to live. Although physically he was not present, still she was protected. There were attendants to serve her. Kardama Muni left, but there were arrangements for her protection. How can a pure devotee and the Supreme Lord leave a woman unprotected? That is not possible. So the understanding is that she was protected at all the times. She felt separation but never felt unprotected. Also, Mother Devhuti is connected to the potency of the personality of Godhead and thus protected by the Supreme Lord. And now she is carrying out the instructions, the teachings that she received from the Lord directly. These narrations help us understand how to devote our life in the world of dualities. Sometimes our good fortune, sometimes is ill fortune. We have to address both of them properly. The Bhagavatam gives us the teachings with examples of great personalities like Mother Devhuti, the daughter of emperor living in the forest and serving her husband, then living in the flying palace and still doing austerities. The situation is changing, but her devotion to the personality of Godhead is not changing. And following Kapila Dev's teachings, she is progressively increasing her activities of devotion. She does not need detachment from material world or attachment to the Supreme Lord. She is already there. She is teaching us by her example. That's what devotees do. They teach by their example. We cannot do such extreme as this is not Satyug, but we have to understand the principle and live our lives accordingly. And we can do that by cultivation of bhakti in our heart and in daily practices. I'll stop here. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasantuभ्यः पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो